Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Rising Tide podcast. I'm your host, Stanton Hunter, and today we're talking about a workout that is burning more calories than walking, but putting less toll on your body than running. So it's a great way to get in shape, especially for beginners. And with me today, I have a friend from high school. We go way back to high school. Probably haven't talked since high school, but he's a former military, spent a bunch of time in the National Guard. Now he's working with veterans in the government down in DC. So Ben, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
So I want to talk to you about rucking because I just got into rucking a couple of days ago because of you. I saw you post on Facebook that you were taking the Go Ruck Tribe challenge, and I was hooked immediately. So I started diving more into rucking just over the past couple of days, and it's awesome. Like I'm kind of addicted right now to it. So
Yeah.
how did you get into rucking? Was it something that like the military brought for you, or?
You know, the first time I was actually started rucking was I was in the military. So I joined actually the Army National Guard in 2009. And as you go through basic training and stuff like that, there are certain requirements that you have to meet to be able to essentially pass basic training. And so one of those is rucking. So you have a bunch of weight, gear, clothing, food, everything you need, and you essentially put it in a big backpack, and they call it a rucksack, and then you just walk. And rucking is, let's say, probably the movement of just walking, but really in basic training you're practicing patrolling, right? You're walking to an area or to an objective, and you're watching your perimeters, you're watching the side, and you're kind of scanning your areas and making sure that there's nobody trying to attack you. So that was my kind of first formal introduction into rucking. It's also closely aligned with hiking if you're or camping if you like to do that. But since then, since basic training, different units do it more often than others. So I was a cannon crew member, so I shot artillery for 13 years in the Guard. And we didn't do it as much. We did it more so as a form of physical training. So you just get your section together, your squad together, and then you would just kind of take off. You'd put all your gear in your bag. You'd have like 40 or 50 pounds, and then you just take off. You'd have either a known objective or a goal. You're trying to ruck 4, 5, 6 miles or something like that. And so we would do it for PT and just another form of exercise. And so that's where we did it occasionally in the Army. But, I saw that you had Jeff on one of your earlier episodes, and he was infantry, right? So he did probably a ton more rucking than I ever did in the Army. And because that's, the nature of his job. You're on your feet, you're moving, you're carrying your stuff. I was a self-propelled guy, so it means that the vehicle that I had tracks on. It's kind of like an Abrams, but a little bit more on steroids, bigger bullets and stuff. So I really didn't get into, Go Ruck or rucking on my own until actually probably 2019, right? So you've seen Go Ruck and you kind of have a basic general idea of it. And so I always wanted to do one of those events, one of those kind of, you show up, you don't know what to expect, and you just kind of do whatever the cadre or the instructors tell you to do. And I was kind of hooked from there. And it's funny. I was on the phone with my buddy last night as I was rucking, and he was like, "Man, you're doing this all wrong. You're supposed to ruck when you're in the Army, and then when you get out, you're supposed to stop." And I'm kind of doing it reverse, right? I really got back into it after I got out of the Army.
Got it.
So it's fairly new to me. I've really kind of dug in this year and joined the tribe that Go Ruck is having, which you just joined too. So that's been a cool community to join and be a part of.
Yeah, I got a late start. I think you got a late start too, but I started like 2 days ago or 3 days ago, and you're supposed to do 31 miles by February. So I'm out there doing like 2.5, 3 miles whenever I can right now, just rucking it and just getting out there and doing it. I think last night I was out until like 11 o'clock trying to get my miles in.
Yeah, I joined late too. I joined on the 18th. I kind of missed the boat on starting right on January 1st. if I don't get 31, I don't get 31. But I'm trying to at least do the challenge that's this month. So at least 1 mile a day, and then I did the full kind of big monthly workout on Saturday. And,
How was that?
That was miserable.
I bet.
So,
I'm not looking forward to. I'm trying to do that next weekend, right before the end of the month.
yeah,
But I'm not looking forward to it.
It's 3 miles.
Mm-hmm.
You walk 3 miles, and then you have the exercises to do. You have 12 rounds of 4 different exercises, and then you finish it off with another 3 miles.
Yeah.
And it's a fight mentally to get through it. But the one good thing of many that I like about rucking and Go Ruck and the tribe and things like that is that it's all scalable, and there's the only standard that you have is yourself,
Right.
and what your goals are. So it's great for everybody.
And that's exactly what because I haven't worked out in like 2 or 3 years, and like this whole podcast is me jumping back into it and just trying to find something that works for me. And like I started running right off the beginning of the year. My wife put me into this resolution run that she's like, you got to go do a 5K, and I haven't run in 2 years. Yeah. So it was brutal, and like I'm just not in the best shape to be running right now. I'm just like, what can I do that's better than walking? Because walking doesn't get me very far. But like, what can I do that's better than walking that I'm not going to kill myself on? And when you posted about your rucking, I was like, that's it right there. That's it. And they'll give me a monthly patch. Like, I'm sold, because I love those. I love like accolades, like the patch that like you have to earn. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny. You do all this work, and we do all this work, all these miles, put all this time, all the sweat equity we put into this thing, all for this little patch.
Right.
But, unless you know what comes behind that patch and what you did to earn that, for me, it makes it worth it, even for that little patch. But even it takes so much to get there. It's cool.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm a little nervous that there's people out there that just pay the $15 for like a patch and don't do the work. But at the same time, like, I know that I'm trying my best to earn that patch, because it's a code. It's like a code of honor. It's like a code of, it's almost military without being military, basically.
Yeah. And that's, I think naturally, like there's definitely going to be people out there that, they just want the patch. So they just want to pay the $15 and not do the work. But, it's part of this self-accountability, a goal to reach, and, really putting yourself out there and owning that. Right? There's, you say you're going to do something, and if you really are into it, if you really want to either see the change or be part of the group, then you're going to do it. And, I'm a big believer in karma, right? Karma points, always trying to look at the bigger picture and always kind of do the right thing. So I know that if I miss a day for whatever reason, that I will do the makeup. I'll do the extra mile the next day, or the 5 mile like penalties.
Right.
But I think ultimately it comes down to you that, I can't worry about what anybody else is going to do. I'm only going to do what I want to do. And, if the goal is to do that workout or that mile, then I'm going to do it.
No, absolutely. And I think that most people who sign up for it, like, they want to complete the challenges. I don't know if they're all going to do the makeup miles. Like, if they skip a day, they're not going to do the extra 5, probably. There's no holding them accountable for that. So it's hard to keep yourself accountable in situations like that, where you're like, oh man, I miss a day. I'm not going to do 6 miles today. Like, that's ridiculous. I feel like that's kind of a lot of people's mentality. But if you're going for the patch, you want to earn that patch. And I think that's why that system works, is because like it just kind of creates a goal for you to help push you out that door to do it.
Yeah, definitely. I hope that when people do sign up for this, right, because it's fairly new for Go Ruck to do this, at least that I've known of. I think this is the first year that they're doing it. That really, when you sign up for one of these challenges, you know what you're getting into, and that really, if you do kind of slack off, or you don't make the miles, or you don't read the book, participate in all the good stuff that comes along with it, then you really didn't have a good start. Right, you didn't have it in your mind that you really were kind of committed to it.
Right.
So, it comes with a little bit of like, you need to a little bit do your research, but also if you don't, just kind of own up to it and then, push through.
Yeah. No, so far I've been enjoying the book. I found it on my local library. They give you like audible.com type stuff. So I have
Nice.
I have it digitally so I can listen to him talk. And I'm killing two birds with one stone. I'm out there walking and listening to the book at the same time. So I'm getting
That's
that all.
perfect.
Yeah, it's great because as a dad, like it's hard to find time to do one or the other, let alone
Yeah.
both things.
I
So
was gonna say, especially with your schedule, it's nice to knock two things out at once there.
yeah, I'm
That's
I'm super
perfect.
excited to be able to listen to it. Though my first ruck, uh, a couple days ago, I brought my dogs with me, and that was
Oh
a huge
yeah.
huge mistake. On the website, they're like, "Oh, if you walk with your dog, it's more fun." It's not more fun. It's not more fun at all because my dogs, one of them's old, so he's a lot slower, and the other one just likes to sniff and like see everything. And she's darting across, cutting my feet up. Like it tripped me multiple times. And if you're going for time, like they stop to pee and poop a lot. So like
Yeah.
I couldn't even get my heart rate up because I'm constantly stopping for them to do whatever they have to do. Last night I went without my dogs and I cut a minute off my time right away. So
There you go.
yeah,
As even thinking about like doing a half mile out with one dog and then come back and switch or do one of those things depending on how it goes. But I think some people it works for them and their dogs, but it also really depends on what the dog wants to do that day.
it depends on the dog for sure. Yeah, my dogs aren't used to like the whole running and walking schedule. Like we walk for them to go to the bathroom, not to lose weight or enjoy the walk,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah, but I don't know, man. So far, I've been really enjoying it. As far
Good.
as like like what's your motivation? Like what's making you try and better yourself in that way?
I there's I think one of the things was a sense of community, right? And there was definitely, I mean, 2020, with everything going on with COVID, right? Everything that we once knew and every kind of community that we used to have, whether it was friends or work or other activities, kind of got put on hold. Um, so I'm not really big into like New Year's resolutions. For me, it's if I want to see change, I just need to affect change right now, and then just make the change, not wait till the first. So always try to get a little bit back into working out recently and things like that. But with this challenge and with this ruck, it was a nice way to have a community, right? Virtual community. Even if you're just posting on Instagram or Facebook, right? People are looking at your stuff. They're tagging you in it. You're part of this larger network of people, and especially community like the rucking community, where it doesn't matter if you're a civilian, or it doesn't matter if you're prior military, or if you're currently in the military, right? You're just looking out for each other, and you're pushing each other. You want to see everyone succeed, and there's no animosity, right? It's not really ever a competition against another person. You're really only competition against yourself. So that was really cool of me to get back involved with a group like this, even if I'm the only one that's doing it. And at least knowing that I'm part of another group, that I might see somebody else with that patch and automatically know that I'll have a connection with that person,
Right.
right? So, starting that up again recently and just trying to find that other community, find something to do that is, good, it's healthy, it gives me time to kind of like reflect, work through some stuff, break up the monotony of the day. Sometimes, in this current pandemic, it might seem like Groundhog Day, especially if you're, virtually working all the time. At least I get out of the house, right? Go get a mile in. That's 20 or 30 minutes. I'm outside of the house. Can relax from the day, at least mentally, focus on something different, and then also get a good workout in.
Yeah, I
So
like that.
that's
I like that you brought up the community because as soon as I got into this, I found my local ruck clubs, like the people that are associated with Go Ruck. They started like
yeah,
their own remote clubs, and I posted there about my first ruck, and everyone was so supportive. They're all like, "Oh, next time you go out, let me know. Like, I want to go." And then now I have like 1,000 new friends that I don't even know that I get to
yeah.
know in the next couple months because they do like group rucks. They usually knock out the monthly workout together, so they'll go ruck somewhere and then do a workout together. So
That's
like
cool.
it helps you keep accountable, and it does create that community, and it does create this like brotherhood, if you will, that
Yeah,
makes you want to do it more because you're part of something bigger. And I think, I mean, I'm on that whole train right now because I'm reading Tribe, by
Mhm.
younger. You know, like that's the whole idea for the month is to read tribe, and I'm listening to it, and that's what that's all about is like building a community that is serving more than just yourself, because in that way you're going to thrive. You'll be happier, healthier, mentally and everything. So
Yeah, that's cool. There's a lot of groups like that, and they're from what I've seen, they're all the same. They're all very welcoming, and they want you to join. They want you to show up, and they want you to be there.
yep.
And they're really cool to be a part of. It's a really great community. Um, I think probably the closest one that I can kind of consider without, that at least that I know is kind of like the CrossFit community, right? Where it's a workout, but you're building friendships. You're all together. You end up making friends out of it, and you're doing it with other people that are, you know, are have the same background as you, the same physical background as you, but want to see you do well. And so you're not going through this alone, right? I feel like, especially when we talk about physical fitness or anything like that, it can be very, um, just for yourself. And there's sometimes you feel like you don't know where to start or where to go or how to improve or anything like that. And that's what this community does. That's what I feel like Rucking in general is good for that, because really when you break it down, you're just walking with a backpack on, right? It's kind of like back in your fourth grade with all your textbooks, that first week with 40 pounds dragging across your back. So
But I like it because
cool.
it's good for. It is just a backpack with weight, but that's what makes it so simple. Is that anyone
Hmm.
can do it. You don't even need weights. Like you could get books and put them in your backpack. Everyone's got a
Yeah.
backpack. Just get a backpack, put books in it, put something rocks in it, whatever it is that's gonna weigh you down, and just do it. Like there's like anyone can do it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you don't need much. You don't need some fancy gyms and all these weights or anything like that. You just need to kind of get out and just do it.
Right.
And the hardest part about any new adventure like this is taking those first steps. And I think once you get out there for the first time, then you see how simple the concept is, but how gratifying it is, when you complete it, and knowing that you just did something for the first time that maybe you didn't think that you could do. And that's the
Absolutely.
cool thing about rucking in general is where you can start with no weight, and then you just go out and then 5 pounds or 10 pounds or whatever, and then next thing you know you're knocking out 5 or 6 miles like it's nothing with 40 pounds on your back, and you feel so accomplished because you didn't even really think that you were going to get there, but you did.
Yeah.
You worked up to it. Pretty
So
cool.
what when you go out right now, like what's your go to weight? Like how much are you putting on in your backpack?
So I carry about 40 pounds on my back. When I did the workout the other day, I dropped it down to 30. Just because
Smart.
wasn't knowing what I was going to expect. Um, you know, the Go Ruck kind of standard, if you will, is if you're, I think, over 150 pounds, you kind of put 30 pounds in. If you're under 150 pounds, then you put 20 pounds into your ruck. So I do a little bit more just because I can't math very well. I put a bunch of stuff in there. It came out to 40 pounds. Like, all right, I'll just go with it. So
what are,
I
what are
did
you what
taper
are
it
you
down.
using for weight? Like do you have like weight plates or
Yeah, so I have a weighted vest, and then like a tactical vest, and I have two weighted plates. They're Rogue plates, so I think they're like 15 pounds a piece. So I put that in a backpack and the salt pack that I have, and then I actually stole two 5 pound weights from this little tiny weight set that we have in the basement, and like they're the rubber coated ones that they're used for like jazzercise and aerobics, and I just throw them in there too.
yeah, I stole my wife's dumbbell. She has like a bunch of 10 pounders and 5 pounders. So
Yep,
I
that's exactly it.
my bag is just filled with those right now.
That's perfect.
Yeah, it works. So I want to up my weight, but I don't have room because right now I'm doing 20 pounds. I want to do the 30 because she has the 5 pounders. So
Uh-huh.
I could get 4 dumbbells in my backpack and that'll be 30 pounds. But if I want to go up to 40, I need to figure out a new system because there's not enough room to add anything to that.
Yeah, a lot of people use sand
Right.
and or something like that. I've seen people use like bags of concrete, but even going to like Lowe's or something like that, and you get a bag of play sand. Usually you can stuff that down pretty low, and pretty manageable, so you're not wasting any space in there.
Yeah, I got an extra
Um,
bag of place in my shed right now. I could probably just throw that in there.
nice, yeah, that's perfect because it'll go into those weird spots in your bag, and then it'll just sit there and it'll be good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
There's you don't have to do anything fancy, right? Just dumbbells, placement, rocks, like you said before. Just throwing a little bit of anything in there that has a little bit of weight to it. Even like textbooks, as you said before. If you got a bunch of textbooks laying around, hardcover ones, they're perfect for it.
Absolutely. So, I mean, after this whole, I know like the Go Ruck tribe is a 4 year commitment, right? It's or so they say. Like the whole cycle is 4 years.
Yeah.
Um, After the 4 years, like, do you think you're going to continue to ruck, or is it something that you're probably going to try and move on and find something else?
I will I'll probably always keep rucking, at least right now, as kind of my default or my go-to, right? So I'm thinking about getting back in the gym and actually doing some more weight training and things like that. If I do go to the gym, it'll be after I ruck, for the day, get my miles in. I like the simplicity of it. I will probably also along the way do some of the Go Ruck challenges that they have. I don't know if you saw that when you were on there before. I did one in 2019, one of the lights, just 'cause I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't want to, think I was going to do the tough right out of the gate. So I did one of the lights. It was good. It was on Veterans Day, so it was in Veterans Day in DC, so it wasn't as much of a traditional event as they usually are. There's a lot of kind of sightseeing and remembrances. We visited all the monuments and stuff, and so that was cool, but it wasn't a true sense of the event. But I will definitely continue to do those events and sign up for a couple more whenever they're back in this area, and I'll definitely it'll always be a go-to. I don't think I'll ever probably stop rocking.
Yeah, so far I'm addicted, so we'll see what happens in 4 years. But as far as the Go Ruck challenge light, like what exactly happened there? Like what did you have to do in that challenge?
So the light aspect of it is kind of the intensity, right? So the light is for people that are just getting used to rucking, people that are rucking for the first time, or haven't really been doing it that much, that are maybe still trying to get into better shape. They're not at their peak performance or anything like that, and it's kind of your introduction to go rucking these types of challenges, right? These types of kind of rucking with an obstacle course and team building and problem solving all wrapped up into one kind of 5 or 6 hour long event. So you show up and you have a packing list, and they go through the packing list and make sure you have everything that you need in your ruck. You have all the weight, you have some water, you have a couple other things on the packing list. So then you just kind of take off, and you have two instructors that follow you, and they guide you along the path that they've identified. And then every so often you'll stop, and they'll give you a challenge to do, or they'll say pick up those rocks, and now you're going to carry those rocks with you as a team. You're going to do some sort of team building exercise, or you're just going to stop and do a bunch of exercises. You might go through and do 20 burpees, and then do overhead arm raises, and then ruck rows and other things like that. So they kind of put you through a little bit of a grinder with exercises and stuff like that, and then you just kind of make a big loop, and then you come back at the end, and you once you complete it, then you do like a little kind of award ceremony type thing where they thank everybody for coming. You get honored with receiving the patch for the day and for whatever that event is, and then you kind of make a new friends. So you kind of walk out of there, you walk in not knowing anybody, and then throughout the day you end up making new friends, meeting new people, kind of building your own personal network, and then also going through the event. So it's a pretty cool experience, especially for people that haven't been in the military. It's probably one of the closer things to going through, not really basic training, but through one of the special operations, like the Hell Weeks or one of those things.
Right. Yeah.
It's one of those, so it's pretty cool to be able to go back and do that once you've been out of the military, but also to go through it if you've only been a civilian, which there's nothing wrong with that. But it's a cool experience to build that camaraderie.
So when you say they make you do like burpees, that's all with the pack on. Like you can't take your pack off?
So it depends on the exercise. I think when we did the burpees, we had the pack on. But there's usually you're either doing the exercises with the pack on your back, or you're actually using the pack as the weight itself.
Right.
So if you're doing, bent over rows or thrusters or pushes and stuff like that, it's with the pack. So that's your weight and your pack itself.
Got it. Cool. Last question I have for you. Have you done your ruck for the day?
You know what? I did. So I had this goal that I was going to wake up early before work and do it, and that absolutely did not happen.
Yeah.
So as soon as I got home from work, realizing that you and I were going to talk this evening, I got it in. As soon as I got home from work, I got about 2.5 miles in today in the rain. So.
And you went out.
What about you?
I'm actually gonna do it right after I hang up.
Nice.
Yeah, but it's nasty outside, so I'm just gonna go on the treadmill, I think.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, as long as you get it in, right?
Exactly. No excuses.
No excuses.
Yeah. Well, man, it's been so nice to catch up with you. It's been, I don't know, 15 years, if not more. But I mean, so glad to hear that you're doing well, that you're healthy, you're surviving this whole pandemic craziness, and thank you for getting me into rucking because I absolutely love it. Yeah,
man. I'm glad to see you. Glad to catch up. And, we definitely need to check in again and see how the rucking is going. I'm glad you're really enjoying it. It's
absolutely.
Really a cool little community and fraternity to be a part of. So
absolutely. Awesome, man. Well, thanks so much.
All right. Thanks a lot. I'll talk to you later.
Talk to you later. All right, and that's it, guys. Rucking is something that anyone can do. You could go do it right now. Just grab a backpack and start walking, and you'll burn a lot more calories than just walking. So it's a great way to lose weight if you're just getting started. If you want to join the tribe, like Ben and myself, you can go to GoRuck.com and sign up for the Go Ruck tribe. Not sponsored. I just absolutely love the product. They give you a title for a book to read, and if you read that and do the workouts that they tell you to do, you earn your badge, and it really helps you be motivated to do it. So definitely check that out. But other than that, I'll see you guys next week. Until then, just make sure you are doing something to improve yourself and make yourself better and make the people around you better too. That's what we do here because together we rise. See you guys next week. Peace.